Hi, this is Willow from the Business Library. Today we're going to look at the SEC website and we're going to find financial statements. So here we are on the SEC website, and you can get here by Googling SEC or by going to sec.gov. And if you're not aware, SEC stands for the Securities and Exchange Commission. And if we go to the About section, you can read a little bit about what they do, but their mission is to protect investors and maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets and facilitate capital formation. So they do require that publicly traded companies submit a lot of paperwork, right? So that's information like you might have heard of, like a 10K or an annual report, and a lot of other documentation as well. So they require that so that investors know what's happening within a company, right? So they ensure that companies are doing their reporting. So we are looking for financial information here. So you can see here there's like submit filings. There's a bunch of other options as well, but we want to search filings because we want to see what they have available for us. Okay. And you can just, there's some options here, but you can just click on search filings at the top. And here, if we scroll down, we can see that there's a company search. Okay, so you can search here by a company name, a ticker symbol, and so on, right? So we can just do Target as our company, and we can put TGT, and then we can click on it. It's the top one, right? Is the Target Corporation. So here it takes us to the results for Target. And if you can see here at the top is the latest filings. And then we also have some selected filings on the side. And then there's some more information like how to use it and so on like that. But if we click on view filings for the latest, it's going to take us down here and we can see here are the latest. Today is October 4th, 2024 when I'm recording this. And so you can see here the latest. There's a 144, 8K, and so on, a 10Q, all things that have been filed with the SEC. But often people are looking for a 10K. That's an annual report, or maybe a 10Q, which is the quarterly report. So if we click on here, that will take us to that list here, or these are the most recent, and you can click on view all. And again, and it will list them all below. Okay, so we can see that there's some quarterlies that have been pretty recent, and then the last 10K annual report is was filed on March 8th. Okay, so we can click into that report and it should take us right into it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so these will all look kind of the same because it's like a form that companies have to fill out. But there's a lot of great information in here. And so resources that we've looked at, like Factiva or Nexus Uni or Mergent, anything like that that has financial information or like a really in-depth company profile, they're pulling that information mostly from these 10Ks or the SEC filings. Okay. So this gets you to the actual source of where that information is coming from. And we can scroll down and see that they have a great table of contents. And that's the easiest way to navigate through, right? Because it's a fairly large document. So we can click on something like business and we can get a little information about what's happening with Target, right? We can click on risk factors maybe, right? And we can see here a list of, these are risk factors that the company has identified that they are facing, right? So they're talking about what they need for continued success, respond quickly to changing consumer preferences. So these are what they have identified as risk factors. And then we can scroll up, and we can get back to what we wanted to be looking for today, specifically his financials, right? So the nice thing about here is you'll get access to the full financials, but sometimes I like to use something like Mergent instead because then you get to see years over time of how their financials are doing, right? You can compare in the long term, whereas this is going to be like a snapshot of this specific year. Right. Okay. So anyway, it looks like item 8 here is financial statements and supplementary data. So if we click on that, we can scroll down a bit and see there's like a bunch of information. But here we see there's a consolidated statement of operations and so on. Here is consolidated statements of financial position, right? Cash flows. So lots of financial information here that you can like weave through and look through, right? And of course, there's all these like notes and things. So there's a lot more explanation is the great thing about this, right? So if you really wanted to dive into a company, this would be a great place to get information because it wouldn't just be there some numbers, but it actually has like an explanation and talks about where the numbers are coming from and has a lot more context, right? Okay. Hopefully that gives you a great introduction to searching the SEC filings, also known as EDGAR. Thanks.